right. So it's going to say live on YouTube, but of course we are not live on YouTube. We are live on YouTube, but it is unlisted. So the conversation that we are having is absolutely between us. Before I jump into it, I want to get to know you ladies a little bit more and understand, I know y'all put it in the chat in Geneva as to what made you join the boot camp, but I want to hear from your mouth because I definitely want to connect with each of you. So whoever wants to hop on and just give me a little insight into who you are, what made you join the boot camp, and what you want to receive from it, that would be great. Anybody?
I'll go first.
Thank you, Ebony.
So I've actually been on a spiritual journey for a little over a year now. Mm-hmm. And I feel like things have just kind of been one leading to the other. My mind can handle many tasks at once. Mm-hmm. And I'm always looking like, ooh, that looks like it'll help me. Ooh, that looks like it'll help me. But here recently, I'm starting to realize that I need to cultivate self-love. And then I got led to the workshop that you had that Saturday. And I felt like everything that you said at that workshop really was like, this is it. I feel like this would be the actual change that I really do need, because I haven't really, like, I've done other classes and stuff like that, but nothing that was ever focused on the womb itself. And I'm realizing now that that is actually like the seat, like you say, of our everything. And so I need to fix that before anything else will change.
Gotcha. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that with me, Ebony. It's so real. And I love how honest you are, because for a lot of us, when we come into spirituality, everything sounds so interesting, and it is all very interesting, but there are certain things that are like very special and divine, like to us and where we are. Like a lot of times we hear a lot of things, from shadow work to chakras to all of these things. We hear all of these things, but everything happens in its own divine timing. And so for you to decide to be here right now is literally you listening to that intuitive guidance. And even the classes that you've taken in the past, right? You joined them because something in your spirit said, okay, this is what you need now. And so I'm so grateful that you have decided to spend the next 4 weeks with me. And the beautiful thing about this Womb Alchemy Bootcamp is that literally there's work to be done. And so you don't have to guess, okay, what do I need to do right now? What should I be doing right now? Literally, there's going to be things laid out for you that you can just follow and just see what the results will be for you. So thank you for that. Lakeisha, what's up, girl? Would love to see your face if possible, just because it'll help us to connect a little bit deeper. But if not, I'm sure I'll see you one day.
I'm in the middle of doing my hair, so if you guys don't mind that, I have no problem.
Girl, we don't care about some twists and all of that, and leave-in conditioner and shea butter or whatever it is you're using.
I'm doing twist, and I'm actually in the process of detangling my hair.
Oh, you get down. You get it down.
Yeah, no, it is pretty bad. But here, let me turn my light on so you guys can see.
But girl, the vulnerability is real. It's all good. We are here.
But yes, no, my hair is, as you can tell, very
I
washed it last night. So I'm in the process of detangling my
love you either way.
Afro. But I actually stumbled across your class through your husband. So I actually follow your husband, and I was listening to one of his videos, and I finished it, and I'm like, all right, well, what else am I going to do? And then that's when he had posted the link for your Zoom that you was having that day. And I'm like, oh, that's something different. I'll try it. So I wind up signing up. So that's pretty much what happened there. So yes, I pretty much found you through your husband.
That's so dope. I'm gonna tell him too. I'm gonna tell him, because I don't think we even be fully realizing how his work definitely leads people to me. Like, we get it, but we don't we never really have these conversations. Here's the other young lady. Let me let her in. You know, we don't really have these conversations. So it's like, oh, babe, peace, Lindsay. Welcome to the Womb Alchemy Boot Camp. We are just introducing ourselves and talking a little bit about what brought us here. And I'm going to be coming to you next if you are going to be available to speak. Okay. So yeah, Lakeisha, I love that you made contact with me through him, and I'm definitely going to tell him about it because I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that, and I'm glad that you just trusted your instinct and you was just like, you know what, I'm going to come. I'm going to join. This sounds interesting. I'm intrigued. So let's do it. And listen, I have no doubt in my mind for each of you ladies that the things that we discuss, I mean, let me tell y'all really quickly before I go to Lindsay, how this even came about, right? So maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I vividly remember being awakened out of my sleep and my spirit saying, go and actually I was awakened out of my sleep and I came upstairs on the computer because my spirit was like, say these things, right? You got to just get this out of your system, just write it down. And at first I started off typing it on my phone, but it ended up being too much. And so I was like, well, let me just get upstairs, get on the computer and talk it out and have this thing recorded. I actually need to go back and try to find that video. But my spirit had given me the download to heal my own womb. And it was just step after step after step after step. Do this, do this, do this, do this. And after that night of me just spewing it all out, a lot of time had passed and I really just walked myself through this womb alchemy healing process. And then before you know it, spirit was like, this is a class. This is something that you have to give back to people. And so that's kind of how we are here today, right? And you ladies are actually the 4th or 5th group of women who I have taken through this healing process. And that's what I want you ladies to understand just straight off the jump. Womb alchemy is definitely focused on our womb space, but it is also a system, right? It's a system that has been given to me through my spirit guides and ancestors and spirit team that has allowed me to heal not just my womb, but you know, my mind, my relationships, my finances, you know, everything. Not everything, because we're always healing. It's a continuous work, but I've learned this specific system, these steps that we have to take in order for us to transform and become our better selves. And so that's what this is. And today we're going to be diving into the magical mindset, because I realize that our mindset, our mentality, the way that we view ourselves, the way that we are viewing the world, that is the start. And if our perception is skewed, then all the results, all the transformation that comes behind that is also going to be skewed, right? A lot of times we're doing healing work. We're not healing the actual issue. We're healing this illusion that we've casted upon our situation based off our trauma. So we're going to get into all of that. I just wanted to give y'all a little background as to how we got here today. And I want to thank you ladies for being here. Lindsay, we are just talking about what sealed the deal for you ladies to say, I'm going to join this boot camp. I would love to hear what it is that did it for you and what you're looking forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I didn't mean to be in my garage hot tub for this call.
It's okay. Enjoy yourself.
Maybe it's appropriate that I'm in water.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I have known, I've had a pretty, comparatively speaking, for many others, it probably wouldn't be considered a traumatic sexual past, but for me, for the track that I'm on, it's not been healthy and there's been a lot of damage done. I'm 40 years old. I want to have a child. I've known so I'm also a Reiki master. And when I got my master level attunements, probably one of the biggest thing that happened, it wasn't the end of my healing journey. It was really the beginning. And that's where it came out that I have this and it's very much connected to my purpose, and I don't want to say have, because I really feel like it's in the past, but I had or have been on a healing journey of healing this mother wound, which is disconnection from the mother, which would be my own mother, but really the Mother Earth as well. And my personal magic is very much tied to nature, and arguably to the point where there's really no separation, in a level that's maybe a little more elevated than, others. And so part of what I'm here to do is to help reconnect humanity with the mother. That's why I have had this mother wound myself, and I truly have healed it through a lot of ancestral work, and especially over the last year to 2 years. It's really, and now I'm kind of at the point where I'm experiencing the harvest of all of that work. And I really do feel like my womb is healing, and I have this incredible partner who is participating in that, and very conscious and awake, arguably more so than I am even. So it's been really a gift to navigate kind of this final, it really feels like kind of the final stage of this process that I've been in. And, but I also, like, when I listened in to what you were talking about, I realized how much is there that, I can't do just with him. And there's knowledge that I also, like, I just had my IUD taken out last month, and I just had my first cycle for the first time in 15 years.
Wow.
So last week. So, there's just a lot that I think I want to be doing from a very, like, physical standpoint, just, even the kit, I haven't checked my mail to see if it's there yet, but, I'm like, these are things I can do to support myself, as I kind of, if anything, really move into what I would describe as the new dawn in my life. It's really that for humanity too, but I'm, like, really connecting in with this purpose in a really strong way that I never have before, in terms of helping heal the human connection with the earth. So it really starts and ends with my womb. And so I want to be fully empowered in that healing.
That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. And I'm looking forward to all of the work that you will do in supporting humanity and reconnecting, because the earth is a womb itself. It's a mother. It's always giving birth. And I truly feel that when we connect to the earth and we do these sacred rituals and we create this, especially us women, like, I've done magical rituals with the earth for many, many years. And it's always so amazing, the different blessings and concessions and things that come through just by being intentional about, that connection. So I'm super excited to support you. Actually, your box has been made. It's just been sitting on my counter. I need your address. I need your address. Teachable. I thought that it was taking addresses where I could go back and look at it, but it's not. So I need you to, in the Geneva app, if you could just send me a personal message with your address, and I will get it sent out to you tomorrow. So I'm glad that you brought that up, because I want the rest of you ladies to know, want all of you to know, that box you will be able to use over the span of this 4 weeks of us working together. And I just hope that it makes you feel so womanly, so sacred, and just in tune with yourself, because that was absolutely my intentions. And with the ebook that is in Teachable, you will be able to see exactly how to use each of the tools that are present in the box. And then as we go through the weeks, I will be telling you, okay, now is a good time for you to use the bath or the steam. Now is a good time to use the waist beads or the clearing spray. As we go through the sessions, I will definitely be telling you when it's a good time to use it. But at the same time, you have your own free will, and you can use whatever you want when you want. I just want you to enjoy it. Okay. Let's go ahead and get into the content for today that I'm so excited to bring you. Like I said, I want you ladies to know that this is a whole process. What we're going to be dealing with is the system of healing holistically, and it starts with the magical mindset. It starts with the magical mindset. For each of our sessions, ladies, it is my goal to get you out of here within an hour and a half, right? Within an hour and a half, that's the goal. If you just so happen to have to leave for whatever reason, understand that the sessions are all recorded. They will be in Teachable, but I'm going to give you access to it in Geneva. I'm going to just drop the link in the Geneva app, and that's how you'll be able to click in, listen to it, get the information that you need. Okay. A magical mindset is the gateway to living magically. Ladies, this first step is perhaps one of the most important. And I say that because you have to start thinking from a space of magic and knowing that the work, the intentions, the effort, knowing that the energy that you put into your womb, the energy that you put into your life in general, you have to know that these things are working out in your favor. All right. You have to know that the way you are perceiving the world is working in your favor. And if you're having thoughts, if you're having a perception that is not in alignment with your overall healing, well-being, you living in your purpose, you tapping into your power, if your thoughts are not in alignment with that, then I want you to know that you have the power to change it. When you start thinking magically, you'll start living magically, and you'll start to recognize magic really taking place in your life, okay? And so this is a key understanding for you ladies to have, and this is the absolute start. What I also want to add in is that I did a video just the day before yesterday, maybe, on YouTube, and it was called Why You Keep Thinking Negatively. And that video was so powerful. And I want to encourage you ladies to go back and listen to it, because if you add all of the information that I delivered in that video with the information that you're going to be getting today, unstoppable, absolutely unstoppable. And you will no longer be a slave to your own mind. Okay. So let's first understand what the mind is. I know all of you ladies are already into your spirituality. You're already into your sacred work. And so this is just going to be a refresher so that as you move forward through the week and as you move forward through this month, you stay tuned in, you become very intentional about the thoughts that you are having. So the mind is the part of a person that thinks, that reasons, that feels, that understands, and that remembers. See, it's so amazing, because a lot of times we think that our feelings are just, random. They're we don't know why we have them. I don't know why I feel this specific type of way. And I want you ladies to know that your feelings are even directly connected to your mind. The way that you feel about things that are happening in your life are programs. You've been taught to feel a certain way based off of your past experiences. Your mind has said, okay, you should feel angry if this happens. You should feel sad if this happens. You should feel joy if this happens, okay? And so when we even understand that, when we understand how powerful our mind is, we are charged with the responsibility and the accountability to get a deeper understanding and have a deeper connection to who we are and who we've made ourselves to be based off of our thinking. Okay. All right. I'm glad you watched the video, Lakeisha. That's so dope. And here's the thing, ladies, please, please, please utilize the chat, right? I want y'all to have a conversation with me. I don't want to just be lecturing y'all. That's not my swag. That is not my style at all. We are having a conversation with each other. It's not me just up here talking and lecturing, because that's not what I want. Okay. I want us to have a conversation and to build with each other. All right. The subconscious mind is on autopilot, automation. It is always active. It is our feminine energy. It is connected to our long-term memories. It is the womb, essentially, because within our subconscious mind, this is where we implant our seeds, and this is where we create our lives. All right. The subconscious mind is directly connected to our beliefs, our habits, our intuition, our protective reactions, that fight or flight, the things that we seem to not have control over, the triggering, the trauma, all of these things are stored within the subconscious mind. And then we have the conscious mind. This is our awareness. This is our deliberate thought. This is the action that we take. This is the ego. This is the rational mind. This is the mathematics. This is the mental processes. This is the masculine energy. It's that internal conversation, the logical, critical, reasoning mind. And ladies, both of these aspects of our minds is so important because they play off of each other. They dance with each other. And when we understand how they dance and how they communicate and how they bounce off of each other, when we understand it, we will become very deliberate about the thoughts that we are having. But not only that, we will also understand how the subconscious mind works and how we impact it through using our ego. See, the ego is not all bad, right? The ego is not all bad because our ego knows what it is that we want and what it is that we don't want. Our ego knows, okay, we want abundance, we want love, we want wealth, we want healthy relationships, we want to operate in our purpose. Our ego knows and understands that. Our ego knows and understands the impact of that on our human life. But our subconscious mind has all of these stored traumas, the beliefs of I'm not worthy of love, I'm not worthy of abundance, I'm not worthy of health, I'm not worthy of well-being. Those are the things that are stored in the subconscious mind based off of our experiences, right? Like Lindsay said, that mother wound, right? Not having a mother that is present has created a belief that we start to run off of from the subconscious mind. Okay. My thing wasn't necessarily, well, I got some mother wounds too. My mother specifically was very controlling. And so I created this belief, this fear of making decisions for myself. And that fear of making decisions for myself turned into a habit. Remember, your habits are subconscious. It turned into a habit of me procrastinating. It turned into a habit of me not trusting myself because I was so used to my mother telling me what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and her not really giving me the free rein to make decisions and deal with the consequences, right? So we have to understand how the subconscious mind and the conscious mind work so that we can start being very intentional about how we use these aspects of our minds when it comes down to our healing, our transformation, and our manifestation, right? So I'm sure you ladies have heard about the law of mentalism, and it really just means the all is mind, the universe is mental. Okay, the all is mind, the universe is mental. I love this picture here, because it just symbolizes the great mother, the cosmic womb by which the mind really is dwelling, okay? All right, so let's talk about this game. I mean, y'all let me know in the chat if you ever feel like your mind is playing games with you, right? If you ever feel like your mind is playing tricks with you. Do y'all ever feel that way? I know I do. I'd be like, what the hell? Why am I thinking like that? What does that mean? Right? Or you're, oh God, this is so good. Where you think you saw something, right? Did he just do that? Did she just do that? What the hell does that mean? No, that's not what I saw. That's not what that was. No, but was it? Though that mental game that is always taking place. Well, right now I'm going to talk to you ladies about this it's 333 power, and I'll shade to that 333. That's that 9. That's that completion energy, right? 333, that's for 9. That's that 9. That's that completion. That's starting anew. That is conquering that challenge. That is you completing a spiritual task, right? So shout out to 333. I love when I catch little moments like that during very sacred moments that we're having right now, right? All right. So here's the mental game. Here's the mental game that I want you to start playing with yourself. Instead of letting your mind dictate you, I want you to start playing this game, right? And that is the conscious mind imprints on the subconscious mind, right? The conscious mind imprints, and the subconscious, golly, my tongue is like all twisted right now. Excuse me, ladies. The conscious mind imprints on the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind then creates. Okay? The conscious mind imprints, and then the subconscious mind creates. The masculine is the conscious mind, the feminine is the subconscious mind. It's such a powerful thing. So what we are saying is that your masculine mind is the idea. It's, I want the abundance. I want the love. I want the relationship. I want the healing. That's the conscious mind that has that desire for what it is that you want to experience, right? And the conscious mind, the masculine mind, imprints those ideas into the subconscious mind. It implants that seed into the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is also your womb. It is feminine energy. It's the place in which our whole lives are created. Right? This is why they say 90% of your reality is subconscious. 10% is conscious. But that 10% is so important because when we remain consistent in thinking the thoughts of what we want to experience, when we remain consistent in that and we are steadfast in that, it affects our subconscious, and then our subconscious mind creates based off of what we have consistently been thinking and feeling and putting forth our energy into. Okay? Let me know if we understand that, ladies. I know my tongue got a little tied up saying conscious and subconscious, but I definitely want to make sure that you ladies understand that whatever it is that you are conscious about, whatever it is that you are deliberate about, right? That can become you can implant that seed into the subconscious mind and it will be birthed into your reality. Okay? And it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful dance. And I'm so excited to share this dance with you. I'm so excited to share this mental game with you because I truly feel that when we understand it, when we get it, oh man, our lives, it just shifts. All right. So what comes first when we're talking about this mental game? The thing that comes first is your feminine mind. And that is that intuitiveness, that's that creativeness. That really comes first. Our spirit, our higher self, is always downloading a desire into our hearts, right? I want to teach. I want to help heal. I want to help transform. That's coming directly from spirit. That's coming directly from the feminine energy. That's coming directly from the subconscious mind, the intuition. It's that your subconscious mind knows about all of the great that you are supposed to do. Your subconscious mind knows the purpose that you are supposed to fulfill, right? Because our subconscious mind holds long-term memories. So not just the memories from this lifetime, but the memories from past lifetimes and past lifetimes and past lifetimes. Your subconscious mind knows those things. So through your intuition, you will receive these downloads about who it is that you're supposed to be, what it is that you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to show up. You'll receive that intuitively through your feminine energy. All right. And then your masculine mind, the logical mind, the critical mind will tell you exactly how to do it. Right? See, the feminine energy just is like the what, right? What it is. The masculine energy is the how. You got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Think about me being here right now and delivering this message to you all. It was my feminine energy, my intuitive energy, my spiritual energy that said, you got to help women to heal their wombs. You got to teach them this spiritual process. That was the feminine energy. Then the masculine energy was, okay, you're going to break it down into 4 steps. It's going to be first, the magical mindset. Second, self-discovery. Third, they need to release. Fourth, they need to embrace. That's the masculine energy that tells me how to do it. And then we get back to the feminine energy where I allow my spirit to guide me in how I deliver this message to you. Ladies, this is the mental game that we are always playing within ourselves. Okay. And so we have to learn to balance out our masculine and feminine energies, because a lot of times, we'll get a message from spirit and we're like questioning it. Okay, is this real? Should I really be doing this? Is that really for me? Right? Or we can become super masculine and only want something based off of how it can affect us in our physical world. Okay, well, this is probably going to make me a lot of money, or this makes me look good to my peers, or things like that. Oh, or when we're fighting for survival, right? I got to pay these bills. I got to take care of these kids. I got to do this. I got to do that. And we become more masculine dominant, more logical, more critical in our thinking. Okay, so we have to understand that there's a fine dance between masculine and feminine energy in terms of our mind and in terms of our thinking. All right. So once you have an idea, I really love this understanding. But one spirit gives you a download. One spirit gives you insight. One spirit, allows you to see the bigger picture, right? The creativity that is asking to be birthed from you, the healing that is asking to be birthed from you, the abundance that is asking to be birthed from you. One spirit allows you to see that through your feminine mind, through your subconscious mind. Next, you have to use your masculine mind, your masculine reasoning, critical mind to make sense of it and to determine what are the thoughts must I have in order for me to align with the message that spirit has given me. Okay? Let me break that down for you again, even further. So let's say spirit is like, I want you to, just even my own example about the birth of womb alchemy. Spirit is like, okay, I want you to help these women in healing their wombs and connecting to them, to their divine feminine energy and just healing overall. That was the spiritual download. That was the feminine energy. Now my masculine mind has to come in and say, well, how do I have to think? What thoughts must I consciously think in order for me to birth that idea? In order for me to actually bring that into life? In order for me to actually impact the subconscious mind, what thoughts must I think? So I had to start thinking thoughts of, I am a great teacher. I had to start physically taking action and doing this healing work so that I can get what the process was actually going to be. I had to be very conscious mind, masculine. I had to be very deliberate about how I was thinking. Okay, I need to do a workshop. I need to educate women on these things that have to do with the womb. Okay, I need to start thinking from that healed perspective. I have to start thinking from the womb perspective. I have to understand what the womb is. I have to start studying the womb. Do you understand that? And then as I did that consistently over and over and over again, reading books on womb healing, trying different things out on myself consciously, masculine energy, being deliberate about that, the feminine energy, the subconscious mind births the womb alchemy healing boot camp. Okay. Let me know in the chat, ladies, if we understand that process and that dance. First comes the download. First comes the spiritual download. This is what you need to do. This is what your spirit, your higher self is asking of you. Second comes the masculine mind. Okay, what must I think? What must I do? What must I feel in order for me to align with that download that spirit has given me? Masculine energy. You can logically reason that. Okay? If I'm wanting abundance, if my spirit is saying, okay, you can have abundance, you can have healing. If my spirit is telling me that in terms of abundance, then I know consciously that I can't be thinking lack. I can't be thinking less. I can't be thinking that I don't have enough if I'm trying to manifest abundance. They don't go hand in hand. See, your ego, your conscious mind helps you to rationalize what is in alignment with your greatness. What is in alignment with your healing? Your conscious egoic mind can tell you that 1 + 2 ain't working, right? Your conscious mind can tell you if you want healthy love, if you want a healthy relationship, the toxic stuff that is showing up in your life, that is showing up in your partnerships, that doesn't align. Your conscious mind can tell you that clearly. And with it telling you that, you know, okay, I clearly need to consciously, deliberately make some changes so that I manifest the divine, sacred love that my spirit is telling me that I can have. Okay? It's a very beautiful thing. The next part of this dance with the feminine energy is that you have to get creative in your thinking. All right? Let me not go too far ahead because I may be showing you in here, right? I may be showing you in here, right? So here's the magical mindset process that I want you ladies to start understanding and cultivating. First, feminine energy is understanding what it is that you desire. What is the destination, right? Lindsay told us her destination right now is ultimately serving in a powerful space, helping people, helping humanity to heal their connection to the earth. That is the destination. That is the desire. That is what she wants to do. Okay. Step 2, this is when you get into your masculine energy and understanding what thoughts am I having? What detrimental thought processes am I holding on to that do not align with my destination? Your masculine energy helps you to see that. Okay, that doesn't work. This thought doesn't work. This action is not in alignment with the desire and the destination. Step 3, you want to destroy and dismantle those thoughts that are not in alignment. So you have to ask yourself, where does this come from? Why am I thinking this way? Okay. And what you have to do is you got to transform and transmute that thought. You got to raise the vibration of that thought. You have to understand that there's always 2 sides to one coin. And you have to ask yourself, what side of the coin am I focusing on? Because the side that I'm focusing on is what I'm creating, is what I am implanting into the subconscious mind. Okay? So you got to destroy and dismantle what you've discovered to be standing in the way of you getting to your desires. All right. And then lastly, you have to decide and discipline. So once I've decided, okay, this thought is not working, and I've dismantled it, I've understood, okay, this is why I think like this. This is why, this has been what is in my mind. This is why I show up this way. Once I've destroyed that and I've dismantled it because I understand it, right? Then I have to decide, this is the new thought process that aligns with my desires. I decide, right? Making a decision is different from a choice, right? Because when you decide something, that means you're no longer looking back, right? This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm sticking to. I'm not turning away from this. I've made a decision. There's no turning back. And then you have to discipline yourself to see that thing manifesting. You have to discipline yourself to stay focused on the desire. You have to stay focused on the destination. You have to discipline yourself to maintain the new state of being, the new thought process that is in alignment with what your spirit is asking you to manifest and create. Okay? I love this. I love this. And this is literally, ladies, this is a spiritual process. This is a spiritual process that you can follow in any aspect of your life, whether it is dealing with healing your womb, whether it is, creating more abundance, whether it is healing your body, whether it is creating healthier relationships, whatever it is, you can follow this process in terms of your thinking. Okay? This is my desire. These are the thoughts that are standing in the way of my desire. Okay, why do I think this way? Where do I get this thought from? How do I transmute that and see the other side of it? Once you see the other side of it, you discipline yourself to stay focused on the opposite side of that coin. Okay? The next thing, though, with that is that you have to start looking for proof. You have to start looking for proof. But before I go too far, we're going to get into this right now. We're going to get into this right now. I want you ladies right now, if you can, to get relaxed and really take a deep breath. Oh, yes. I want you to take a deep breath. And I want you to really get into your heart space. Understand that when you tap into your heart, you're also tapping into your womb because they're connected. They're connected. And we know they're connected as women because most of the times we don't let a certain person, man or woman or whoever, we don't let anybody into our wombs unless they've caused some type of impact on our hearts. They've made us feel a type of way. Most of the time, that's, how women are wired. Women are biologically wired to only allow a person into our sacred space, into our wombs, if they've caused us to feel a certain way. Now, those feelings may be delusional. Those feelings may be, directly connected to a trauma or a void or something that we have not healed, but it doesn't change the nature of women. And that is that our hearts and our wombs are divinely connected. And so understand, ladies, when you sit into your heart, you're really sitting into your womb space. And I want you ladies to take a deep breath and really connect with your desire, your heart's desire. I want you to ask yourself, what is the vision? What is the vision that I have for myself? And I just want you to feel, that desire. I want you to feel that vision. I want you to feel what it would be like to live that. Anytime I tap into this energy, it's just so overwhelming. And I want you ladies to allow yourself to really feel how powerful your vision for yourself is and how capable you are. Even being able to feel it is proof of its existence. It's already done. It's already, it's already happening. You are already in alignment with it. Really sit into that vision. Don't second guess it. Whatever comes to mind, it's fine. It's good. It's well. Understand that your vision can grow. It can expand. It can change. But I want you to start practicing being able to tune into that. Because that's the spirit. That's that feminine energy. That's your essence. That's the real communication of your womb. That's what you are meant to birth and bring life to. Take a nice deep breath into your heart. I know we jumped into this rather quickly without any warning, but I just follow spirit. I trust myself. I trust the guidance. Yes. Now, I want you ladies to come back to this present moment. If you're like me, I can kind of jump into those spaces, jump into those universes rather quickly. And I want you ladies to allow yourself through practice, through focus, to also be able to do that because you deserve it. You deserve to be able to, jump into the desires of your heart and feel its presence and feel that energy and feel that power. You deserve to be able to do that. And the more that you can do that, the closer you are to its manifestation, right? Really, when we tap into our desires and the destination of our heart, when we tap into that, we are really collapsing a timeline and we're bringing things into fruition faster. And so as you are navigating life, as you are navigating this womb alchemy healing experience, I want you to always remember the desire and the destination. I want you to always remember what it is that your heart is calling you to do. And then the work is going to be determining what thoughts, what emotions, what habits, what actions that you've been taking that do not align with that desire, that do not align with that picture. Were you ladies able to tap into your desire for yourself in that moment? Let me know in the chat. And if you were, I want you to tell me what were they? Just a little bit. You don't got to tell me too much, just a little bit into it. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat if you're able to tap into that, if you're able to feel that. Let me know. I guess y'all are typing slow. Are y'all there? Are you there? Are you there? Let me know if y'all are there. I don't want to be talking to myself. Sovereignty, time, freedom. I love that. Thank you, ladies, for sharing. I was about to, and one of our desires was to actually go ahead and unmute yourself and talk to me. Either one of you can unmute yourself and talk to me. Typing seems to be taking longer. You can just unmute and talk to me if you're available.
So one of my desires was to connect more with my ancestors. So I know that's something that I need to do, but I've just, I guess, been putting it off. So that was something that came through for me.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love that. And you know, the most magical part about that is that when you connect with your ancestors, you're connecting to yourself. The more you connect to yourself, the more you're connecting to your ancestors. It's a beautiful dance. It's a beautiful understanding to really have, because it's just the truth. Your ancestors, they dwell within your DNA. They dwell within your blood. And so the more you are intentional about connecting to you, connecting to your DNA, unlocking your DNA, unlocking the gifts, that's a powerful thing. When you are intentional about unlocking and utilizing your gifts, this is you connecting to your ancestors because you receive your gifts, your talents from them. And so I think a lot of times in the spiritual community, we focus on, ancestor altars and things like that, which are necessary. But what I've learned through my experience is the more that I connect with myself, the more that I do the things that I've been called to do, the easier it is for me to know that I'm tuned in with the people who've come before me, who love me, who honor me, and who want to see me do great things. So take that to heart and mind, Lakeisha. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. All right. So once you have that vision, the next thing that we talked about is determining the detrimental thoughts, right? So what are the beliefs and the desires not the beliefs and the desires, what are the beliefs that are blocking your destination and your desire from coming to pass? And we have to understand where it actually stems from. right? So if you're wanting to connect with your ancestors, like Lakeisha said, a major question would be, okay, what is actually stopping me from doing the work to make that connection? You know, is it a fear of what I might discover? Is it, procrastination and doing the work? And if I'm procrastinating, why am I procrastinating? What am I anxious about? You know what I mean? So we have to ask ourselves the right questions. And that's one thing that I'm very grateful for in the work that I do, is that I have an ability to ask the right questions, especially when I'm working with my coaching clients. I have just this ability to ask the right questions that are going to help them to get the answers that they need. And so you got to learn to ask yourself the right questions. So what are the beliefs, or what beliefs are blocking your destination and desires from coming to pass? Because at the end of the day, it all stems from, the desires that we have and the things that we want to manifest, and our ability to attract them, to manifest them, and to live it out. It really all stems from the way that we view ourselves, the beliefs that we're holding on to. Okay. So we got to get clear on what that is. Dismantle and destroy. I love the goddess Kali, because this is what she does. A lot of people are like scared of this image of her because they feel they see this ferocious, strong woman. But what she's actually doing, and why she's such a powerful deity, is because she destroys the attachments and the identification that we are connected to, that is actually standing in the way of us getting to our goals, and that is standing in the way of our enlightenment, that are standing in the way of our growth, that is standing in the way of our evolution. This is what the goddess Kali does. She helps us to detach and disidentify from some of the things, some of the beliefs that we've held on to about ourselves that are not in alignment with the desires that we have. Okay. So you have to understand that you have to break the cycle of those thoughts and those beliefs. And you have to start practicing following up those thoughts that are not in alignment, because our thoughts are habitual. Our thoughts are in our blood. Our thoughts, they have so much momentum. And so what we have to start practicing is, if you have that thought that is not in alignment with the goal or the desire that you have, what you have to start practicing is following that thought up with the thought that does align. Okay. It has to be like clockwork. Anytime you have that thought that is no longer in alignment with your desire, immediately you have to follow it up with the thought that is. At least when you do that, you create this balancing act, you create this 0 point. Okay, because if you keep thinking the thought that does not serve you, that thought just builds up more and more and more momentum in order for it to manifest in your reality. But if you stop that thought with the thought that does serve you, they balance each other out. It's like the negative and the positive. When they come together, it's a 0. The ultimate goal, though, is to continue thinking the thought that does serve us and giving that thought more momentum, more power, more focus, so that it actually manifests in our lives. And so the way that we destroy these thoughts and dismantle them is getting down to the essence. Where does it come from? Why do I think this way? Who did I adopt this thought process from? And how can I do alchemy on this thought? A great example of this is, that really has to do directly with the womb, was when I was in college, I had an abnormal pap smear. They said that my cells on my cervix were abnormal. And it was a very, very, very scary time, right? It was a very scary time. And it was scary for many years because, these doctors always said, okay, this leads to cervical cancer and things like that. And of course, that's something that nobody ever wants to experience or anything like that. And so my destination was, I want to heal my body and heal the cells of my cervix. That was the desire. That was the destination. But I had to understand first what had actually manifested me in having this abnormal pap smear. And so when your cells are changing, first of all, this is a normal thing, like, right? Like we all have in our bodies what they call free radicals. Free radicals are the cells that don't know what the hell they're supposed to be doing. They don't know if they're supposed to be a cervix. They don't know if they're supposed to be a kidney, a colon. They don't know what their job is in the body, right? They've mutated, right? And our cells mutate based off of trauma or genetics and things like that. So basically, through my study, I had realized that my body was, in a sense, turning on itself and it wasn't doing the job that it was supposed to do. And so when I connected that spiritually, this is me dismantling and destroying the thoughts that had created this abnormal pap smear. I had realized that I had been denying myself and I wasn't loving myself and honoring myself and recognizing my own value. And so I had turned on myself in a sense. My body had turned on me because I wasn't honoring me. My body was like, if you are not going to mentally, emotionally, and physically honor you, then I'm going to show you that lack of self-respect, that lack of honoring. And the reason why I wasn't honoring myself is because I had connected my self-value, my self-worth, I had connected it to my relationship with my father. And I've told this story, most of you probably know this because you've heard me speak before that, my father I felt abandoned by my father based off of his response to him and my mother getting a divorce. And I never share it on YouTube as far as like the abnormal pap smear, because that's not something for everybody on YouTube to know. That's something for exclusive communities like you ladies to know and understand, right? But I had developed this lack of self-love and self-worth and self-value based off of this belief that I wasn't good enough. I wasn't pretty enough. I wasn't valuable enough. I wasn't all of these things based off of my father not picking me up on like a Friday night or something like that, right? And this is what we do. This is what we do as human beings. We give meaning to certain experiences, and the meaning that we give to these experiences, they become our thought process, and they sometimes become the thoughts that stand in the way of our destination, that stand in the way of our desires. And so when I realized that, I had turned on myself based off of not loving myself and not seeing my own value, the destroying and the dismantling was understanding that my father's actions had nothing to do with me. And it's funny because during this session, my father called. I missed his phone call. I just texted him real quick and said, hey, if you call, Dream or whatever. But I had to destroy the idea that my father not being present was my fault, because it wasn't my fault. Him and my mother, they were argumentative, they were combative, it was toxic, and he didn't want to be consumed in that. Now, even as an adult, I feel like they could have done things differently. They should have been more sensible. They should have been more rational. They should have been more understanding, right? I can say all of those things, but that just didn't happen. So I have to make peace with the fact that my father's decisions were not because I wasn't good enough. Were not because I wasn't pretty enough. Were not because of me. And when I did that, I shifted my actions and I shifted my thoughts and I started honoring myself more. And so what that translated into was I wasn't intimate with people who do not value me, right? I had to cut off certain relationships, men and women. I had to stop dealing with certain people who I didn't feel valued, who I truly was, who I didn't feel they loved me for who I am. I had to let those things go. I had to stop doing the things that devalued me. I had to stop thinking the thoughts that were not in alignment with my self-love and my self-worth. So that was me destroying and dismantling the beliefs that had manifested me, manifested in me having an abnormal pap smear. And so as I did that consistently, and it took work, it's actually how womb alchemy healing actually was birthed. But as I started doing that consistently, loving myself, valuing myself, saying no, holding boundaries, as I started doing that, as I made that decision, my womb started to heal. And I vividly remember going through this whole womb alchemy process with myself, and, going to go get that pap smear and it coming back normal. And me just, having a whole praise break because I was just so grateful that I had actually healed my body through dismantling the beliefs that I had about myself. Okay. So the next step in the process is deciding in discipline. Ladies, you can rise up like the phoenix. You can actually be your best self. You can actually manifest your healing. You can actually manifest your transformation. You can do that. You can manifest your relationship, manifest your abundance, manifest your healing. And I don't even want to say manifest, but you can become it, right? It's a becoming that is happening. Okay? But you have to decide what it is that you want, and you have to discipline yourself to stay focused on that. I had decided I want to be here. I had decided I want to raise my children. I want to have children. I want to be healthy. I want to be whole. I want to be beautiful and vibrant and love myself and value myself. I made that decision and I disciplined myself to move in life with that certainty that it was done. Okay. And so a part of this, ladies, is when you make a decision about what it is that you desire to create and manifest, and then you understand what are the thoughts the feelings, and the actions that are standing in the way of you, getting that. So you determine what that is. You destroy and you dismantle those actions, those feelings, those thoughts. Then you want to discipline yourself and decide what how are you going to show up? What it is, how are you thinking on a daily basis? How are you feeling on a daily basis? The actions that you're taking. And then what you do next is you want to look for the proof. Oh man, this is one of the most powerful things. And it takes a real discipline to decide that in your daily life, you are going to look for the ways that spirit, your higher self, is confirming to you that what you desire is real and it is happening. Okay? Even with the aches and pains, like for me, as I'm doing this healing work, right? I would have an ache, I would have a pain. Instead of, and I had to change my terminology. I had to change the way that I even speak. Because if you believe something is an ache or a pain, then what I was saying to myself was, this is an ailment. Something's wrong. I had to decide that the sensations that I was having in my body, I had to decide that those sensations meant that I was healing. Those sensations meant that things are working out in my favor, that my body is realigning for the better. Okay? And so what that means is you have to get spiritually creative. This is where the feminine energy comes back in. You got to get artistic in your thinking. All right? You have to look for the proof that what you want is actually happening. And the more you do that, you're sending a message to the subconscious mind. So it's creative in the feminine energy, but it's deliberate masculine energy. This is the balancing act between your masculine and your feminine energies. Okay? So even in the simplest way, think about this. In the simplest way, think about this. If you're wanting to manifest more abundance, if you find a penny on the floor, you should be telling your mind, oh, look, I am manifesting more abundance. Even though it's just a penny. See, your ego will tell you, oh, it's just a penny, that ain't worth nothing. But your spirit, your higher self, can override that and say, it's still money, right? A penny is still money. And so you grab that penny, you pick that penny up and you tell yourself, oh, my abundance is coming in, right? Good fortune is flowing to me. I receive it. Thank you. And you have gratitude for that. You have gratitude for those little moments, because as they accumulate, as they add up, it becomes your manifestation. It becomes your reality. So you have to discipline yourself to maintain the new state of being, the new thought process, right? The new idea, the healing, the abundance, the love. You have to discipline yourself to maintain that frame. No matter what is showing up in your life, you can choose. Actually, I don't want to use choose, but you decide what it is that you're going to stand on. And here's the powerful part. You will be tested. The challenges will come. But in that moment, that's also a moment to have gratitude for. Okay. It's also a moment to have gratitude for, because it says that your spirit, your higher self, God, the divine source, the universe, is hearing your request, and it wants to give you opportunities to prove yourself right. Okay. It wants to give you the opportunities to prove yourself right. It's such a beautiful thing, ladies. It's such a very, very beautiful thing. I'm going to stop my share so that we can talk about it, because I want to make sure that you ladies understand exactly what I'm discussing with you right now, and that you understand how to apply it. In this part, right, this little Q&A part of our session is always going to be so important. Is always going to be so important because I really want you ladies to be able to apply this information. I really want you to be able to use this information and it not be just talk, you know what I mean? And that comes from you having the mindset and the spirit of, you know, really wanting that transformation and really wanting to be better. All right. And really wanting to be better. So the floor is now open for us to have, you know, about 15 minutes, you know, if we get there. If not, it's all good. About 15 minutes of, you know, us talking about how to apply this information. What has been delivered to you right now is really the foundation of any form of healing, of any form of manifestation, of any form of transformation. This is the foundation for it, right? It's the foundation for it. It's how am I thinking, feeling, and acting in relationship to the desires that I have, okay? Because if you could understand this, you can do anything, not just pertaining to the womb, but pertaining to every aspect of your life. I am a true, firm believer in this process of the magical mindset. So that's one. What is your desires? What do you want? What do you want to create? What is the destination? Two, what is standing in the way of that? What are the thoughts, feelings, and actions that you are doing that do not align with the desire? Three, okay, I see that this is what it is. Let me destroy that. Let me dismantle it. Let me break it down bit by bit so that I understand why I've created this thought process, why I do this action, why I feel the way that I feel. Let me break that down and understand what is the belief really that is creating this part of my reality. And then once you do that, you decide, okay, well, this is what I want. This is the thought process that is in alignment with that. I'm going to discipline myself to practice it. It does not happen overnight. It does not happen overnight. It's a consistent work. It's a consistent work. And so as we are working together for these next 4 weeks, I want you ladies to really become intentional about practicing this. And I'm doing it right along with you. Like, and that's one reason why I really love doing this, is because it makes me practice what I preach, right? So this week, our focus is the magical mindset. And to conclude your work for this week, I want you to know, and I'm still going to talk to you ladies and let you ladies share your thoughts on what we have just discussed, but I want to show you what your work is for. Actually, I'll show you after you ladies speak. Anybody want to share on their thoughts, feelings, understanding of what we've just discussed today?
I will.
Okay.
I don't even know how to explain it other than I really appreciate the way you break down how to break down the thoughts that you are having in your head, because I think that has been my biggest problem. Like, people tell you to identify them, but then what do you do after that? You know? And so it makes so much sense to be able to have that step-by-step process to be able to really see the difference and
Right.
the how. So I'm excited to be able to, really, the more you talk, the more I could relate in my mind, like, okay, what she's
Yeah.
saying makes sense, and it makes you
Right.
really, really think about it. Like, I've read questions before, but they just don't make me think. So I appreciate like I said, the way you break it down, because
Yeah.
your explanations and your examples make me realize, like, okay, I need to dig a little bit deeper than just whatever the surface level of it is.
Right, right. Yeah. And you know what? I'm so grateful because when you ladies share, right, like throughout this week, this is the focus. Okay. Being able to see when you become aware of something, it just takes you to a whole nother level. And so this week, I want y'all to focus on, okay, I see what I want. I know you said sovereignty and time freedom, right? And so if that's what you want, okay, what are my thoughts? How are my thoughts aligning with that? And I want you to become aware of that as you are navigating through the week and really challenging yourself. Okay, I see that, right? I want you to even write it down, which that's a part of the work for this week, writing down what some of those thoughts are that are manifesting, the blockage between you and the goal. And what I want us to do is I'm going to support you in the Geneva app. I'm going to support you in asking some of the right questions that are going to help you get down to the root of it all, which what it really boils down to is that we have these experiences and we develop this belief about ourselves based off of the experience that we had. Like I said, not feeling like I was worthy, not feeling like I was valuable. Like that was a thing that, for a long time, I didn't even realize that I was, living off of. But as I started asking myself questions and allowing myself to get into the feelings and the emotions and really time travel into that trauma, as I allowed myself to do that, I was able to see like, oh shit, this is how I'm acting. This is how I'm showing up. This is how I'm feeling. And that's not in alignment with the goals. And so what I want to do for you ladies this week is let me explain to you the work, right? So this week, your work for this week is one, I want you to write down what your actual goal and desire is. Now, you got to be clear about this, right? You said sovereignty and time freedom. What is that exactly? Does that look like only working 4 days out of the week? Does that look like being an entrepreneur? Does that look like, working from home? Like getting very clear about what that is, right? Like for me, I was very clear. I wanted a normal pap smear. I wanted to go to the doctor, them do that little swab, run their test. When it comes back, it is normal. Not, okay, you got this and you got that. I wanted just normal, healthy. That's what I wanted. So there was no confusion about whether I got to that goal or not. And I think that's sometimes what we do, ladies. We don't make very clear, measurable goals and desires for ourselves because we are afraid of not really being able to get it. And so if things stay kind of abstract, then there's no real marker on if we accomplished it or not. So for this week, I want you to determine what it is that you really want. I want to be able to work for myself and provide for myself on my own time, on my own dime. If it's, I want to work from home and I want to make this amount of money. If it is, I want to work with clients on connecting to the earth and I want to do it this often. Whatever that goal is, I want you to get clear on that. And I want you to analyze what specific things, thoughts, beliefs, emotions, habits that have stopped you from the true pursuit of that desire. Right? And then we're going to look at that even deeper. Okay, why didn't I take that step? Or why am I not showing up as fully as I can? And then we're going to understand what that is. And I promise you, ladies, just when you set the intention of, I want to see what is actually standing in the way of me getting to this goal, man, when I tell you, all of the stuff will just come up, all of the stuff will come up. And so when those things come up, we're going to have a conversation about it in the Geneva app, right? In the app, I want you to let me know, hey, I realize that this is the thought that I've been holding on to that is not in alignment with my goal, right? And I want to do that because I want to really support you in doing the alchemy on that thought. Also, in Teachable, I have a video called The Alchemy of Thought, which is ultimately what we're going to do. Let me give you an example of that. So with the abnormal pap smear and, you know, being told, okay, this could possibly lead to cancer and really having a fear around that, I had to do the alchemy on the thought because the thought of cancer was really taunting me and haunting me, right? And so the alchemy that I had to do, because there's two sides to one coin. We got cancer, the disease, the illness that seems to be rampant, you know, in America specifically. And then we have the zodiac sign of Cancer. And so instead of me feeling so bad and scared about the disease, I started feeling gratitude for the Cancerian energy that is present with me astrologically, right? Because I have like Cancer in the sixth house being the house of family, right? The house of your household, the house of the mother, the house of love and being a caretaker. And then the energy of Cancer is the mother, right? Is the caretaker, the nurturer. And so the alchemy that I had to do on that was this thought, I'm no longer going to fear, but I'm going to feel grateful for it because it just is giving me the conviction to be the best mother, to be the best wife, to be the best, you know, homemaker that I could be. Do you understand that? I know that's a little bit of an extreme example, but that's how we do the alchemy, and we stop living in a state of fear and we see how this thought can actually serve our highest good. Okay? And so you have the power to do this. This is what we're talking about when we're saying not running away from our demons. This is what we're talking about when we're saying facing our demons. Right? My abandonment wound and you know, feeling like I wasn't worthy. I had to do the alchemy on that and let myself know, like, damn girl, no. I had to really sit with the fact that I actually really love me. I was lying to myself in those moments where I thought that I didn't love me, that I didn't value me, that I wasn't worthy. It was a lie. And it was a lie that I had created in my mind based off of my trauma. Okay? And so the alchemy on that was, I actually love myself. I actually enjoy being alone. I actually enjoy quiet time. I actually enjoy not being bothered by people. Like, and when I sat with that, I was like, actually, I really do. I really enjoy myself. I enjoy being with myself. That doesn't mean that I have to be single and not have children and so on and so forth, but I just had to learn to embrace and embody me. Because when I was so attached to that wound, I didn't. Does that make sense, ladies? Okay. Thank you so much for sharing. Ebony, Lindsay, or Lakeisha, do any of you have a perspective or an idea that you want to drop? We are 3 minutes away from my time, 4:30. We are 3 minutes away, and I definitely want to get you ladies out of here on time. Anybody else got something to share?
Well,
Okay, both of y'all, hold on, both of y'all are talking at the same time. Let's go Lindsay, then Lakeisha. We're gonna go Lindsay, then Lakeisha.
okay.
I don't really have anything specific, but I just want to say, like, I'm just like listening to you speak feels so in alignment with like a lot of the awarenesses that I've had recently, and even the stories you've been telling, like about your mother being controlling and like how you procrastinate. Like just yesterday, I was asking myself, why do I procrastinate? Like, and I feel like you gave me the answer. Spoke too about, you know, your experience with bad paps in college. I had the same experience, right? Like, I just, I feel like this is all really hitting home for me. And so I just want to say thank you so much.
My pleasure. I'm so glad. I'm glad to have you here, Lindsay, because we've talked a couple of times. I know, like through Miss Blue and all of them. And I'm so glad that we finally get to work together in this capacity. So thank you for being here. And I'm glad that we get to be a reflection to each other.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I feel like I've been waiting for the right moment, opportunity, and this is it. And I'm just so excited to be on this journey with you. So thank you.
Awesome. And make sure you send me your address so I can send out your box. It's already prepared. So just send me your address so I can send it to you. All right, Lakeisha, what's going on, girlfriend?
Hey, so for me, I really appreciate everything you taught us today, and I can't wait to go further into it. I learned that I definitely, like I said, I have to connect more with my ancestors, and it was one of those that it aligned with everything you were saying, because I've been putting it off for like 2 years now. And I know that's like really bad, but it was one of those where I was very resentful towards my family because of how they treated me growing up. They always treated me like the black sheep. So now it's one of those where they are trying to reach out more, but I'm still just like, no, I don't want to be bothered. No, I don't want to be bothered. But I think it's just simply because of how they were treating me. And I feel as if they will do the same thing again. But I'm learning that I will have to let it go, because for my walk in my spirituality, it's going to have to go with me connecting with my ancestors and me connecting with the family that I do still have here.
Yeah. Wow, Lakeisha, thank you for sharing that. That is so powerful. That's like a major like aha moment. And so it's a part of the transformation is going to be understanding that the way that they treated you, was not a real reflection of you. That's one. Two, people can heal, people can change.
Yes.
And if you don't allow space for you to experience that and observe that and witness that, then what you're also saying about yourself is that I don't forgive myself when I make mistakes, when I wrong myself, when I don't treat myself the way that I should be treated, right? Because everybody's just reflecting to you aspects of you. So what you refuse to do with other people, you also refuse to do with yourself.
Yes. That is exactly what I'm realizing. So I am very thankful for that and for you showing me that, because I've been asking, okay, what do I need to do? Like, why is it things that I want working? And it's all just coming back to, I need to better connect with my family and my ancestors.
That's it. That's it. Give space and opportunity for that to happen. And then a part of the transformation in your mind is understanding that people can change. And I promise you, through my own experience, like I said during the session, my mother was super controlling growing up. And even in moments where she probably wasn't being controlling, I automatically assumed that it was a form of control. You know what I mean? But when I transformed that thought, Spirit had actually revealed to me that her control was a manifestation of her love. But I didn't see it that way for a long, long time. For many, many years, I didn't see it that way. My mind only said, oh, she's controlling. She just wants me to do what she wants me to do. She wants to control my life. She wants to run my life. She wants to live through me, like all of these stories that I was telling myself. And then I have finally asked Spirit to just reveal to me what it is really. And Spirit was like, your mother loves the hell out of you. So much so the love can get a little bit overbearing. And that's what you were feeling and experiencing. But you're not seeing it as if it was love. You're seeing it as if it was control. And you're missing the blessing in that experience. And so when I understood that and I detached from, oh, my mom's so controlling. She's always this, she's always that. When I detached from that idea, she changed. And here's the divine part. She probably has not changed a bit, but my perception of her changed. And because my perception of her changed, my engagement with her has changed. Right? Because I don't go into conversations with her. I don't go into situations with her with the mentality of she's going to try to tell me what to do. And she still does. Let me tell you, she still does, but I just don't feel that way anymore. I just don't connect with her in that way anymore because I've changed my perspective of her. And because my perspective of her changed, she's actually changed to me. She may be the same person to everybody else, but to me, she's changed because I see her differently. Okay. So super duper powerful thing, ladies. Listen, this is what I want you to do for me. In the Geneva app, I want you to drop in the Geneva app what was one of your biggest takeaways or aha moments from this session. I want to know what was one of your biggest takeaways or aha moments from this session. You can write it out, or you can make a little quick 30-second video or something like that. I would prefer video because I just connect with video like that, and it's easier for me to share it with others rather than text. But either way, in the chat, I definitely want to know what was one of your biggest takeaways from this moment. I appreciate you ladies so much, and I'll be seeing you next Sunday, same time, same place. And remember, in the Geneva app, that space is for us to have a conversation. Like, we can talk about these things, and I'm here to support you. Okay. All righty. Peace,
Thank
ladies.
you.
Peace. Y'all have a great